Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Today we have a replay played between none other than in the bottom right spawning as the Blue Zerg player playing for Shopify's Rebellion Lambo, and in the top left spawning as the Red Terran player. It's going to be Sol, the player now known as Spirit, but back when this replay was made, still Sol. Not quite sure why he changed his name. Well, probably just wanted a change of personality. Well, not a change of personality, but a change of result. I think I've spoken about this before, but the same thing that Special did back when he was still called Major. Of course, he had a lot of name changes back in the day already as well. Changed his name to Special as like a final switch, and actually started performing a lot better at tournaments. Can be something mental as well to kind of flip a switch there. Now we see Sol's opening up with what I think was a reactor first here. It's going to be going into a Hellion build here. Second barracks as well. Lambo's opening up with Overlord speed, making sure that he won't die against anything stupid. Seems to be his weapon of choice against... what is this? Is he gonna bunker rush? This has to be the slowest bunker rush I've seen in my life. You gotta be kidding me. What is this? Speed is already done. How... What? Okay, well, these cars are gonna show up now, and I guess they will be kind of able to save these Marines. Does Lambo see the bunker? Lambo does not see the bunker. He's gonna see the bunker now. He has 10 seconds to cancel this bunker, and I don't quite think Lambo's gonna be capable of doing that, honestly. These Hellions are here. This is a fantastic build. I love this build order. This is such a cool build. Holy... No! 2 more seconds on the bunker. Oh... That would have been super sick. That actually would have been super sick. It's so cool how that works. The Marines in the bunker are there to fight against the Queens, and then the Hellions make sure that the Lynx can't surround that bunker. Now Lambo's gonna set up a big counterattack. Even though this didn't succeed, it still was a success for Sol, because Sol right now is about equal in worker count, which is pretty nice. He's gonna lose these Marines for free, which is sloppy. The Hellions probably could have protected that a little bit better. Lambo does have a lot of links now. Well, actually, was this a success? Lambo's just gonna drone up at this point. He's getting an Evo chamber as well. Continuous creep spread. Let's not forget that there's a second barracks here as well, pumping out stim. I don't think that Lambo's actually gonna be very ready for this. Like, I've never seen this build order before in my life. Now Lambo's going to scout and see, wait a second. Your stim is basically done already. You might even see that Tech Lab finish researching now. It's not going to be the case. It's going to be a single medevac. Single medevac, okay. Combat shield. Now he's going to swap this with a reactor. Is he just going to push out with this? Does he have an armory as well? No armory, okay. For a second I thought that maybe he's going to go into like a Hellbat Marine push or something like that. It's not going to be quite the case here. 85 workers for Lambo against the 70 of Sol. Sol in a little bit of a supply block. We'll need to wait for his command center and that one depot to finish. Yep, command center finishes will unsupply block him. There's no third barracks yet. This production really does suck. Matter of fact, move forward a little bit too far. There's a car in there as well. I think there were more cars there and I just missed a couple of cars dying. My bad. Is there even a baneling nest? Okay, there is a baneling nest. There is a carapace upgrade going as well, and we have layer on the way. You know what I would really like to see at this point out of Lambo is Spire, actually. I feel like this is a perfect Mutalisk game. And I think this might just be what Lambo is doing, because we see 6 gas. Now, unless you're playing Mutalisk, there's no reason for 6 gas. If you're playing Ling Bane as an opener, 4 gas is plenty. If you're playing Hydra Bane, usually 5 gas is the way to go. So, 3 extra barracks here being added for Sol. Now, one of the bad things here for Sol, or one of the more painful things for him, is that he lost his Hellions, which means that any round buys are going to be very tricky to deal with for him. Second factory going down already as well. Tanks. Okay. So it's going to be tanks rather than anything else. He'll try to drop, well, on top of this Overlord, try to get this Overlord down. I think he wanted to go cancel the 4th or 5th base that would be here. Now he probably won't be able to do that because Lambo did see that movement. So Lambo should be able to get ready in time. We'll lose a couple of creep tumors here as Sol's making sure... No scan. Oh, he's just straight up gonna go for it. I don't think that's going to work out. We'll most likely just drop on the high ground here. Snipes a couple of banelings. Not the greatest control. I think a lot of these Marines weren't firing the entire time. Started attacking them a bit too early. And indeed we have the Spire this time around. So it's going to be mass Mutalisk. Well, mass Mutalisk. A decent amount of Mutalisk. 7th gas being taken already. We have Ling Bane moving in as well. Try to take out a Queen. Couple of Marines go very low, but not quite low enough for them to die. 1-1 is almost done here, and I wouldn't mind if Lambo... Is he still only working with a single Evo? No, he has 2 Evo chambers. Only one of them is working. Carapace starts on the second one. 84 workers here for Lambo. That's a big amount of workers. We have a single Liberator going into this fort base to start harassing a little bit. As there's no real anti-air except for Queens, it might actually be able to do something. Meanwhile, Sol is just attacking in one location. No army split whatsoever. Just clearing creep in the middle. Continuing his upgrades, even though that will be a little bit late as his armory got delayed for no real reason. Fort base is about to finish up as well, and this Liberator will most likely not be able to get anything done as Lambo was paying attention. This Lib, however, does see the Spire, and that should trigger a response out of Sol. I think he looked at that Spire as well, right? Yep, there go the first turrets. Turrets on the low ground, turrets in the main. A little bit of a supply block once again out of Sol. Now a couple of depots will finish up, that will help. This Lib will get a couple of kills in the end as we see the first person view of Sol over here. Slowly moves forward, wants to run back to that mine at this point. Decent lift up, but the link control out of Lambo is just a little bit too good and none of these mines will connect. Tor on the way as well. Was this a fake Spire? No, there's the 11 Mutas are out right now. They're staying with the army. Perhaps might be a little bit more useful if they go try to fight something in the main base. Picking off tech labs or reactors or doing something else. Maybe killing an SCV here and there. 101 workers are on the map right now for Lambo. You see this army moving forward, and a lot of these Banelings actually are going to be connecting. Sol's in a little bit of trouble here. Mines all way too stacked up, and these Banelings will be able to splash on them. Where's Sol's army? Is Sol dead? Maybe. Did Sol just die? I felt like Lambo just had such a good start that after that bunker rush failed, he's just been able to leverage this advantage into a fantastic mid game. He does need to be careful. Killing a Terran is something that you never really should try, and is also kind of impossible, and that's why you shouldn't try it, of course. 9 workers have gone down, so Sol losing a decent chunk of his economy. Lambo at the same time is heading into his 6th base. Already has 10 gases going up, +1 flyer attacks, infestation pit, probably starts looking towards a hive. Getting those 3-3 upgrades, adrenal glands, 12 Mutalisk extra are on the way. That's going to bring the total up to 25, and once again Lambo is completely maxed out on 100 drones. 3 Marauders are going to be moving forward. Hoping to trigger a couple of Banelings. Mines also there, of course. This Thor's going to get picked up last second. There's just no army here. Thor's army is so tiny. Or Thor's army. Sol's army is so tiny. Thor will survive. And we only have one of them Thors. This little squad is most likely also going to end up dying. This mine, no. Actually, with the reinforcements, I think Sol will be able to semi-clean this up. The Thor will die for now. Might be able to construct a new one here. A couple of mine shots hitting big on the Mutalisk, but Lambo still in a firm lead in this game. Not being capable of finishing it yet, but also nothing really here to worry about. Immediately starts re-establishing his creep and starts rotating with these Mutalisks towards the top side. 19 Mutalisks, 7 more on the way. That means we have about 26 Mutalisk, +1 is done on them already, and +2 has started. Hive has also started at this point, so Adrenal Glands and 3-3 are going to be there in the near future. I think these Mutalisks actually can snipe this bunker, no problem. Exactly what Lambo decides to do. Needs to be careful, those not controlling these Mutalisks. We'll lose 4 Mutalisks here, I believe. 5 Mutas go down. 5 Mutas for a bunker. That's about 1,000 resources for 100 resources. It's not quite what you want if you're a Zerg player. Even though Lambo is completely outmining his opponent, you still don't want to be trading that for. Lambo also needs to start doing some things with his money. He needs to start rolling Banelings into bases, preferably kill this planetary a couple of times. Mutalisk in a straight up fight, Mutaling Bane, isn't actually that good. The real power in this army is that you can continuously force trades of Zerg army against Terran eco, and then eventually you force the Terran to attack into you, and while you're outmining your opponent so hard. Oh! The Star's doing a pretty decent job here. While you're outmining your Terran opponent so hard, you should just be able to take bad trade after bad trade, because you're never going to get a full split map scenario. But if we take a look at the resources lost, Lambo's actually down 3k already on a 10k loss in total. So that's, well, what, 14k loss in total. So that's a pretty decent percentage, like 25% or so, maybe a little bit less. In favor of Sol. Sol just trading a lot more effectively, and the longer the game goes on, the more effectively Sol will be able to trade, of course, because so far most of the trades have been with completely inferior armies for Sol. Now he's getting close to maxing out. He actually is going to have a chance of perhaps getting decent trades. These banelings are going to get caught by the dropout as well. More Marines are running in, so this run by is going to get cleaned up. Sol is having some good map control here, even though he doesn't have a lot of vision. This sensor tower is going to help out as well, and I actually think he managed to establish himself a 5th base. Even getting an orbital command, or an extra command center here perhaps for an orbital. Mutalisk right now moving in, one of the mines not burrowed yet. These Marines are going to get picked up, and this planetary is absolutely dead at this point. No? Yes? Yes. Planetary dies. There is an extra command center here. Once again, these are not necessarily cost-efficient trades, but they're good trades, because you're taking out the eco of your opponent. You see that, well, Sol actually right now has 2.6k income, but that's mainly because of the mules here at that 5th base. But if you keep killing command centers and killing a couple of units with it, eventually Sol is going to run out of money, while Lambo can take the entire map. Probably wants to start thinking about taking this 8th base as well at this point. Yep, this little thing is going to get taken out. What is the Mutalisk count? Mutalisk count only at 12 at this point, and Carapace upgrade for air is being constructed, or being evolved, rather than going into attack upgrades. And ooh, that was a very big mine hit. I think it was like 25 links or so. Good split off here out of Lambo as well. We'll be able to kill a couple more workers with these. Adrenal is done as well, but there's just not a whole lot of banelings. There's just not a whole lot of Lambo, and it makes sense, of course, because he has been on such a high drone count this entire game. The thing, though, is that usually when you're on such a high drone count, I believe we see slightly more banelings, but Lambo hasn't been really going in too many times with these big baneling counts into that planetary like we tend to see. And now Sol actually is feeling a little bit ballsy. Only has 3 mines in this army though, so I'm not quite sure what he's feeling ballsy for. He wants to start attacking this top right side base. He's been doing a good job defending, but I don't think you can actually fight here, can you? Good pre-splits, and the Thor in the back is going to help as a bit of an anchor against these Mutalisk as well, which right now there's 24 of. Mutalisk are hoping to get some damage, but almost actually going to lose that top side base. Here comes the big engagement, all pretty much from a single angle, off creep as well. There's a crap ton of banelings here though. I think Lambo's absolutely going to crush this fight, and indeed he does. We have a big push at the same time here on the bottom side, and Lambo was not ready for that, having his entire army in one ball. And that's the disadvantage of playing Muta with a high drone count, is that you need to be the one in control. You need to be throwing stuff at your opponent, otherwise your opponent can start splitting his army, and you just don't have enough Zerg to fight your opponent's stuff. It's just not possible. Sol taking out 3 bases in the past 2.5-3 minutes. So even though he lost his own 5th base, he also managed to get Lambo back to 5 bases. And he does have a command center ready. Now this turret might just get taken out by these +2 mutas. Yep, immediately does get taken out. Finally we have some Mutalisk harass here out of Lambo, and it immediately is proving to be effective. A couple of turrets in the main base might also get sniped here. Now instead Lambo decides to go for these medevacs. Does need to be careful that he doesn't lose too many of these Mutalisk. 19 Mutalisk do remain. Ultralisk are on the way as well, so the Marauder count hits 12. I don't think these Ultralisk are necessarily going to be a game changer. First 4 Ghosts are also being produced here. Oh my god, I completely missed this. How did I miss this? Well, I was looking at these Mutas, Sol at the same time with an elite squad of Marines and Marauders. Took out the entire bottom side. Killed 5 workers extra, killed all of these bases, and managed to establish his own 5th. I think Sol is actually making the comeback of a lifetime. This game is not over yet by any means, but for whatever reason, I feel like Sol is ahead. Now, I know that doesn't make sense, because Sol, in reality, probably isn't actually ahead, but it feels like he's ahead, because he was so far behind earlier, and now the game is pretty much even, and often it can feel that way. If you can't finish the game when you're up 60, 70 supply, how are you planning on winning a game if the supply is equal, and your opponent has as many bases as you? I just don't quite see how that's possible. Another thing is, of course, that Mutalisk are a momentum-based unit. Once again, I'm going to open up that unit loss tab and see, hey, that's a 6,000 resource difference. That's 30 Mutalisk already. Now we have a couple of oh my god, a couple of SCVs going down. Muta's also going into the natural. I love this move. This is a really good move, and this is going to force Sol to do something. The question is, what is it going to force Sol? Can we get a snipe here on one of the Mutalisk? Yep. One of these Mutas will go down. A couple more snipes will come out. One Overseer goes down, and that other Muta does barely manage to escape. 177 supply against 200. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. This did a lot of damage to Sol, okay? Where I just was saying that I felt good for Sol. This Muta control has been phenomenal. We have a big fight here on the right side. Once again, a relatively simple engagement. More so from one side rather than multiple sides. Mutalisk. Oh, Lambo, be careful, my friend. Be careful, as these ghosts don't mess around. You're going to be losing all of your Mutalisk. This is a very expensive loss here. That was a really expensive loss. All of a sudden, the unit lost advantage, doubling in favor of Sol here. Now the Ultras and Banelings are trying to move through. There's just not a whole lot of mines here in this army, but the Marauders are just standing way too strong. Single Ultra and Lynx get pushed back. Lambo's in a bit of trouble. He has 10 larva left, but he has 2.6k in the bank. Sol right now is pulling ahead in supply, as Lambo's just having a very difficult time producing units. Has a couple of extra larvae, as of course the injects pop off, and there is an infinite amount of hatcheries on the map. The problem here for Lambo is that if he doesn't get that top right side base, Sol's actually probably going to be outmining him pretty soon, and well, actually already is outmining him. Lambo only left on 80 workers at this point. Investors are on the way as well. But Sol's just in a fantastic position. How many Marauders is this? 15 Marauders, 26 Marines, 4 Ghosties. We only have 5 Medivacs though. Did he just stim his entire army? These guys in the back are never going to see battle. They still injected the drugs. Tell me again they're not addicts. They show up and they already have their hangover. Look at that. Base is going to get taken out, and so will this base, but Sol is a little bit quicker at taking out bases, as planetaries require a little bit more attention. And of course Zerg also doesn't have the repair feature that Terran has. So Sol loses a base but kills 2. I kind of like this position for Sol. His worker count is dwindling. 58. What is the orbital command count? He has 2 orbital commands. What? You what? Well, that's kind of painful. It's going to make it hard to mew, and it's going to make it impossible to scan. So actually Lambo, if he just gets the bases, is going to be mining way more, because 2 mules is not going to be enough to make up for, what is that, an 18 worker deficit. That's just kind of painful. This bottom base needs to be taken down ASAP. Let's see, yep, of course sees the hatchery with the sensor tower. Doesn't quite look like a hatchery though, does it? I think the larvae should also show. Oh, they do. They're just a little bit out of range. Look at that. If it moves to the left a little bit, it shows. Well, that is extremely interesting, but not interesting enough to look at for 35 minutes. So we're going to be going back to the main game. Neural Parasite. What's he going to neural? This Thor? I've never seen Neural Parasite being used against Bio Ghost armies. So I'm very curious to see what Lambo decides to do here. There's a bunch of infestors. He has 4 Ultralisk as well in this army. So is moving forward, and now there is a lot of oh my god, that was a huge fungal hit. Can we get another one? The answer is, well, not necessary. All the units died already. Smaller hit, but still pretty freaking decent. Ghost get the snipe. It looks so silly to see 3 small guns take out an entire Ultralisk at once. We have another scan. These creep tumors are gonna get taken out here. Sol is playing a fantastic game of StarCraft 2 here. 2200 mineral income. Let's manage to reap. Ooh, Broodlord's Lambo. Infestor Broodlord going to be the switch here. Yeah, the question is Sol ready for this? He's building more ghosts and he starts Viking, so he must have seen it somehow, some way. I wouldn't mind a quick drop over there, like a quick 8 Marines or something like that. Could definitely help a lot. But Sol is just really afraid because his army is kind of tiny. His army is indeed kind of tiny. Queens moving forward. Here comes the Broodlord. Push. Snipes on the Queens. We'll be able to take out 2 of the Queens for free. Thor is in the correct mode. Should be able to start fighting against these Broodlords. The Infestor's moving forward, but just gonna get sniped. Oh, but as it's getting sniped, he sees the red dot on his forehead. He throws a final fungal, and this base is gonna be going down very soon here. Fungals are hitting, banelings are hitting as well. Sol's supply still remains high, but I don't quite see how that is possible because his army looks tiny. I don't think Lambo can push forward here. He has taken out this base, but I don't think he can start fighting off creep without the Queen support, without any real Link Bane on the ground anymore either. Sol actually is finding his courage and starts moving forward right now. Mines Burrow will be able to take out the Broodlings. Not quite sure how useful that is. 2 Vikings are obviously not going to be good enough against 9 Broodlords. I'm not quite sure why Sol decided to go in. It's nice that he found this. Hello? That's the incorrect position. It's like a hex down here. It's supposed to be 1 up. But it's okay. We can forgive you for that, Sol. We can forgive you for that. What else do we have over here? So we have this hatchery is going to get kind of oversaturated. This bottom base hasn't mined anything yet. This base has been taken out. I didn't even notice that again. I feel like I've been missing so many drops. I've also missed the start of this fight where Sol tried to get a couple of snipes off. These Vikings are stutter stepping with the main army and just don't really get their shots in. Look at that. These Vikings losing so much DPS. Only getting 1-2 shots in over the period of almost 20 seconds. Now we're going to be able to get another one. Single control group here for Sol. Why is there no second control group for the Vikings? Seems to make things a little bit harder on yourself there, Sol, for no real reason. No real reason whatsoever. 142 supply against 131. Lambo's army is a very high value army with big units in there. This isn't just pure Ling. No, this is an army that matters. Army value is big, especially very gas intense. We have a Viper out as well, which should be able to assist these units with a quick parabomb or perhaps a couple of abducts. Not quite sure what you would abduct though, but it's possible. Damage of Snipe is actually mental. This spell is so good. I'm so happy they can't use it against Protoss. Well, not against any of our big units at least. Imagine sniping a Colossi. I think I'd actually cry. Or a Disruptor. I actually do think I would cry. I'm not a very emotional man, but you snipe my Disruptors, you touch my heart, alright? This base is gonna get taken out soon by this single drop. Sol has a plan. So he sees the mining right now. He's like, hey, that's weird movement over there. I wonder what that is. Just gonna unload at his planetary that's completely safe. Same time he's gonna be going for the top right side base once again. Is going to get killed as well. How many hatcheries have gone down? Sol the hatchery sniper took down 9 hatcheries this game. 9 hatcheries. Don't forget that it started with this weird new cheesy bunker rush that I actually have never seen before in my entire life. With a failed new cheese, by the way. This wasn't just your regular cheese. No, this was a failed cheese. And now we're here. Lambo in complete control for the first 10, 12, 13, maybe even 14 minutes of this game. And after that, starting to fall apart against the multitask and the many drops. The absolute hatchery sniper that Sol is. It's so beautiful. It's fantastic even, I would call it. The best. Good control here out of Sol. Tries to target down the third Baneling. Took him a little bit of time. Lost 2 more Marines for it, but he got it in the end. Good job, buddy. Now there's a lot of Ghost in this army. There is mines here as well. And Sol is most likely looking to start a push on this top side base. This left side has been safe the entire game. Hasn't been contested once. And I don't think Lambo is going to start now. He doesn't have the resources to throw units at bases anymore. He needs to win in a big engagement, a one-go fight, as we call them. A fight that lasts for maybe 20 to 30 seconds, happens once, and then you push and you kill a base. And then you keep your big army alive. You can't trade if you're Lambo here. You need to win. You need to take things from your opponent, not trade with him. We see that actually after that big Muta loss that Lambo had, he has been trading pretty cost efficiently, but he's still down so much in resources lost that if this ever comes to a full split map scenario, Lambo is just completely dead, because 10k is a huge difference, and especially because Terran tends to already trade better the longer the game goes. The fact that he's down 10k, yeah, it's just not a very good sign for him. Sol right now is trying to take this bottom left side base. I think Lambo is going to change speeds as well and start moving towards that area. Please tell me these 28 kills weren't all in one shot. Holy crap. 28 kills on a mine. That is not okay. We have a little bit of a... What is this? What is it? Is it a Tor switch maybe? You have a second armory, or is that... The second armory is being built. I have no clue why, but it is happening right now. Once again, that mine will shoot his last shot. Where's the rest of the army? Where's the Ghost, actually? Ghosts are going to be on the top side of the map, defending this orbital command. Yes, that is an orbital. Same time, this Marauder Marine army is pushing forward. A couple of mines in the back, spread out, just to make sure that in case these links ever go in, they won't be able to do very much. Don't forget that Lambo doesn't have the money for many more banelings, which means that links are going to be the weapon of choice. And the problem with that weapon of choice is that they suck. They're not very good against Terran units. They're good against Marauders, but if there's a sufficient amount of Marines, links just don't trade very well. Even if there's 6-7 banelings with them. No, you need way more banelings to deal with a Marine force like that, especially if mines are sprinkled in. Right now we have a couple of Thors being produced here. +3 vehicle plating is on the way. Oh, he never started his attack upgrades. That's probably why he got his second armory. But he already queued it up on the other armory, so not quite necessary, that second armory. Going to be the most... oh, crap. Let me make the joke afterwards, as we see Lambo pushing in. Actually, did he just knurl a Liberator? Did I see that correct? That is unbelievable. He did manage to do that. He manages to take out this base as well. Sol decided to go back rather than taking out this base for free, as there is the entire Ling Bane army here as well. Lambo wants to fight right now. He knows that he can't really keep going. 2 bases get taken out. Sol, 33 workers go down as well. Sol actually fell a lot in supply. I know that's all worker supply, that sucks. So he can maybe even build a bigger army, but Lambo does... yeah, painful. Ah, my joke. The award for most useless building in the game goes to you. Congratulations, Armory. You've done it again. The second armory that will never see an upgrade being researched in its facility. Ay, 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 ay. That is pure pain. Now Lambo's looking to take this topside base, and this I kind of do like, realizing he's not going to be able to mine from these two, at least for now. Hopefully he will be able to mine from them later. Says to himself, hey, what happens if I take this base? And I think we're about to see what happens if you take that base. Sol is moving out right now, and hence Shockwave hadn't been researched until right at this moment. Is that smart servos being researched here? I think so. I guess eventually he wants to maybe transition into mech Ghost with like Hellbats as well. It's hard to say what he wants exactly, but I think Lambo wants to fight, and this is what I was talking about. Lambo has one shot to take a very good fight, and this is going to be that fight. Here come the Fungals, here comes the Parasitic Bomb, does land on a Liberator, but not a Liberator that is touching the others. Now a lot of these links are moving in, will try to surround the Thors. All of the Infestors are completely out of energy, and a lot of these Ghosts are still alive. Thor staying alive as well, will start focusing down these Brood Lords. Snipes being cast. And Lambo has to tap out. Sol wins the game. On Romance had a fantastic game, I must say. A really nice little TVZ, well little, 31-minute TVZ. Congratulations to Sol. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button. We'll see you all next time for more videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.